Today we are doing a Shop My Stash Get Ready with Me, and I'm going to be using some makeup today that I have not used in a while. Hey guys, welcome back. I hope that you're having a great day. If you are new here, my name is Julie, and I'll help you find the best affordable beauty and drugstore makeup products. I'll show you how to enjoy your current makeup collection and help you to become more confident by teaching you my best makeup techniques and sharing with you my most valuable life lessons. So if that resonates with you, you should subscribe and stick around. So for foundations, with me shopping my stash, I don't actually have a lot of foundations in my collection right now. So I have the Believe Beauty Foundation, Revlon Color Stay, the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin, L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, and I also have the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. The problem with the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint and also the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, both of those foundations are slightly a little too dark for me in the winter. So I usually have to mix them with a lighter foundation. And I just want to go back and get a lighter version of the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint so that I can use this in the winter. So anyway, that was like a little foundation tangent, but it's part of the reason why I kind of use like the same foundations all the time, because I don't have a lot of foundations in my collection, but also just because, I just love Revlon Color Stay, so it's hard for me to get away from using that foundation. I am going to go in with this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup as my primer. I used this the other day. I can't remember which video it was that I used this in, but I actually really enjoyed it that day. And I used it another time like off camera, and I really liked it that day. So I'm really starting to fall in love with this. So I'm glad that I decided to give it a different, like another try. So sometimes I do that with products. Like if I buy something and I use it for the first time or two and I don't really like it, I'll just kind of put it away for a little bit and then come back and revisit it later. And sometimes I'll still feel the exact same way. But then other times, like with this product, I come back and I'm like, why in the heck did I not like it the first time? So I'm not sure the reasoning, but I do really like this now as a primer underneath foundations to add a little bit of like a luminous glow. And for my foundation, I'm just using Revlon Color Stay. And the shade that I use in this, I always have it listed below in the description box, but my winter shade is 150 Buff. And usually in the summer, I'll wear 180 Sand Beige. So those are usually the two shades that I use. And I find that this 150 Buff is a nice neutral beige color. That's because sometimes that's my issue with foundations, is they'll either lean a little too pink or a little too yellow. And for me, I need a very like beige, almost like a slight green or grayish tone. So I guess almost like an olive kind of undertone in the foundation for it to look right on me. I don't know. So I think that's another reason why I love Revlon Color Stay, is because the shade match on it is so good. The Makeup by Mario, I'm trying to remember what shade I have. Let me grab it real quick. This shade in N2 is is the closest match I've ever found to my Revlon Color Stay. Like the color match is so good on that. I almost thought to use the Makeup by Mario because I think I've only used that once in a video. Oh my gosh, that car was so loud, it sounded like an airplane. But yeah, I do really like that foundation, and I do enjoy that one in the winter months. I know that's not a cheap foundation, but I do feel like it's worth the splurge on that if you do enjoy like full coverage dewy foundations. The Maybelline Skin Tint foundation is kind of similar to it, but I don't think it's quite as full coverage as the Makeup by Mario. And I find that the Makeup by Mario is more long wearing than the Maybelline one. But they are close. And I know I've had several of you guys recommend to me the Revlon. It's their illuminating one that they came out with either this year or maybe the year before. And I have wanted to try that foundation, but I feel like when I go to the store and if I can find that, they never have like the shade that I need, or like sometimes I'm just like not quite sure what shade I need because yeah, I just don't really know. So I need to do a little bit more research with that foundation because I do really want to try that because I've heard that that one is pretty comparable to the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin as well. And since I love just the regular Revlon Color Stay, I figure I probably would really like that illuminating one. And then for my concealer, I'm just using my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light. I've really been getting back into this concealer again. I mean, as much as I love the e.l.f. Camo concealers and that Maybelline Activewear, like Superstay Activewear concealer, I still think overall the Tarte Shape Tape is still like my favorite above those other concealers. Like, I mean, I do feel like the Camo concealer is pretty comparable, but sometimes I don't know, like I feel like the Tarte doesn't look quite as drying on my under eye, and I don't know, I just really like the wear and the look of it throughout the day. Not to say that I don't like the e.l.f. one, because I still do, like both the regular camo and the hydrating one, but the Tarte one, I don't know, there's something about it that I like slightly a little bit more, but I just love that concealer. It's just so good, really full coverage, doesn't crease, doesn't look drying, and I just love it. And I'm going to take just a little bit more of this concealer down my nose here and around my mouth, which I just thought about it just now, but with the palette that I want to use today, I was going to use like darker green colors. So it probably was like one of those looks that I probably should have done before my foundation. So, but I'm going to be using the Profusion Chocolates palette today. And I will say in general, I don't tend to have a lot of fallout with the Profusion palettes. So hopefully that will ring true with some of the colors I'm going to use in this palette today. Hope you can see like how that Maybelline primer underneath the Revlon Color Stay just kind of adds just a slight luminous glow. So that's why I just really been liking that primer. It's like a slight glow and not too overly dewy. Then for my powder, I'm just going to be using my L'Oreal True Match. I mean, these base products are kind of the same ones that I use all the time, because also when it comes to setting powders, I honestly don't have too many in my collection. So it's kind of like one of those things where I really just get a powder that I like and just kind of stick to it until I get through that powder. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of that powder on my sponge and just use that to set underneath my eyes. I find if I use like my sponge with some powder on it, it doesn't look quite as drying on the under eye area. And I'm just going to take this foundation off of my lips and put like a lip conditioner on. And I'm also going to get some of this foundation off of my eyebrows. And then I'm just using my candy cane chapstick to moisturize my lips. And I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids, and I'm just going to use my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. Just trying to also get through this product. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow primers. There's a lot of other great drugstore options that work just as good as this, but I do really like the Urban Decay primer potion. It always works for me. Keeps my eyeshadows lasting all day and from creasing. I was trying to dig through my collection and see like what are some brow products that I do have that I haven't used in a bit. And I have the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil and also the Benefit Gimme Brow. Like these used to be my staple brow products, And then I started moving over to clear brow gels in 2023. So then that led me to the e.l.f. Lash and Brow Clear Mascara. And then I just got back into my NYX Micro Brow because it's super affordable and works just as good. Since I do have these in my collection and I haven't used them for a while, like, let's go ahead and use it today. See how I feel about it. And also too, when my hair was really blonde, this shade in 3 was like a little bit too dark. So I figured now that my hair's, you know, darker back to my natural color, could probably use this pencil again. So like I said, this is in shade 3. So I'm just gonna go in, fill in my brows, and I might get like a little mirror so I can see better up close. I do think this shade in 3 is a bit warmer than my NYX Micro Brow that I use in Cool Ash Brown. I'm not for sure what Benefit's description is of shade 3. I'll have to look it up and put it in the video. But this is definitely a little bit warmer. But it feels pretty much like the NYX Micro Brow. This might be actually a little bit softer, the pencil. I'm gonna use the Gimme Brow. I have not used this product in so long. Like, I have not used a tinted brow gel in such a long time. So, and I think the one that I have might actually be a little mini one. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off some of this excess there. Okay, I do feel like this shade 3 in the Gimme Brow is helping to tie the brow pencil in with my brow a little bit better, like the shade. And I know that Profusion kind of made 2 different versions of this, and I had picked up the original one, so I feel like the one on their website might be slightly different than this one. Like, I remember at the time I got the one from Target and it was different than the one from Walmart. And I feel like the one that Profusion has on their website is like the one that they sell at Walmart. So either way, you can basically create the same look regardless of which palette that you have. I think the one that they sell on their website might actually have a few other matte shades and not as many like shimmers as this one has. And also, if you don't have this palette, you could just use similar colors in your collection to create this look. First, I'm gonna go in with the shade Likeable, the shade right here. And I'm gonna put that in my crease with the Morphe R37 brush. That's really my only complaint about this palette, is just the fact that there's not a lot of good matte transition shades, but it's like one of those things where I could just always pair this palette with another palette that I have in my collection, or just use like my bronzer in my crease. But actually this shade in Likeable is a nice warm transition. It is a little bit more on the yellow side, but I think it pairs really nice with a lot of the colors that they have in this palette. And then I'm going to go in with some of the shade in Sugar and use that as my brow bone highlight. It's just a nice matte white shade. And I'm applying that with my e.l.f. Defining Eye brush. This is going to be the real test to see how much fallout this palette will have with this dark green. But I'm trying to find a good clean shader brush. I need to wash my brushes. That is like on the list for me to do today, is to clean my makeup brushes. I think I might use the Wet n Wild little flat shader brush that I got in the Marilyn Monroe collection. I'm going to grab some of the shade in Quest. I'm going to pat that right out here in the outer V. I'm going back with my Morphe M506, nothing added to the brush at first. And I'm just gonna go around the edges of that dark green just to soften it up and to pull some of that shade up into the outer V area. Like I'm just kind of pulling it up this way and then slowly pulling it over into the crease. I find that like with shades like this one where it's like dark but almost has like a little bit of like a bluish sort of undertone, it's better for me to start out slow with building this out in the outer V, or it can have a tendency to look a little too cool toned and bruisey out there. So I'd rather just start out slow and just add little by little with the color than to go in with a super heavy hand and then it just looked like I got punched in the eye, which is not the look we're going for. I just got a little bit more of Quest on this brush and I'm gonna lightly blend that here in the upper outer V crease area. Just using little circular motions and windshield wiper motions to blend that. With a little bit more of that on the brush and just pat that right here. Just kind of darken that up a little bit. Then I'm going to take some more of that dark green and run it here on the lower lash line. Then I'm just taking a little bit more Likeable and going around the edge there just to kind of blend the darker green. Okay, then for the lid, I'm going to first go in with the shade called Wicked. I'm just applying that with a flat shader brush right here on the front half of my eyelid, and I'm also taking it up into the crease a little bit. Also, if you can hear any other noises right now, I don't know, my neighbors are doing something outside with a car and Josh is in a meeting, so if you hear anything. I'm going to see how this is going to work out, but I'm going to take some of Blitz on my finger and I'm going to try to just, and hopefully not get a bunch of fallout on my face. I'm just going to put, oh, dang it, getting some fallout. I'm just going to put some of that on top of this green to add a little bit of glitter. Definitely would be best to do this look before foundation. It's like I definitely should have known better today. I'm gonna have glitter all over my face now. I don't know if you can see it. But I do really like that shade Blitz on top of that green. That looks really pretty. But I kind of thought if I applied it with my finger that maybe it wouldn't have as much fallout. Go back with some more Likeable and just go around the edges of the green a little bit just to blend some, because I feel like it needed to be blended just a little bit more. I'm going to use some of Illusion, which is a shimmery white. Put that here in the inner corner. Just take some down here on the lower lash line inner corner area. And then I am going to take a little bit more of Illusion and put it here underneath my brow bone. I'm going to take a little bit more and see if I can deepen it up maybe. I will say that really dark green is a little difficult to kind of work with and blend out. It definitely takes some patience and just slight building and blending to get it to the intensity that you want and to blend it out well. It can be a little patchy. But I find a lot of the other shades in this palette to be really great and easy to work with. I think that's pretty good now. I think I like that. I am going to do some liner today just because I feel like this look needs a little bit of eyeliner. I'm debating if I want to do brown or if I want to do black. Just because I don't know if this brown is going to stand out enough, but let's just go in with brown at least at first. This is the Physicians Formula Deep Brown. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to be deep enough. I'm going to try to dust away some of the fallout that I got. Yeah, that glitter is just not gonna, she ain't gonna leave me. She's gonna be there. We have like glitter freckles today on this one side. So learn from my lessons and do this eye look before you do your foundation. Okay, I did a little bit of like a dramatic wing today. On my waterline today, I think I'm going to actually go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Overdrive, which is the same kind of green as we have going on with the green eyeshadow today. And I'm just going to kind of take that down into the lashes, really smoke it out. We're going really dramatic with the eyes today. And then I'm just going to take a Q-tip and kind of smudge that into the lashes. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on to the face, and then I'll come back and do my mascara on the eyes after I do my setting spray. But today I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer. I bought this a while back, and I don't really know if I used it. I'm trying to find my bronzer brush. I don't know if I really used it in a video. Maybe I did once. Can't remember. But when I first bought this, I felt like it was a little light, but now that like I've lost my summer tan, I feel like it matches me a lot better. But I will say that I feel like this color is a little different than their old butter bronzer. Like in their old packaging, I think it was almost like a purpley kind of container instead of green. I might be remembering the color wrong, but it was in a different colored container than this. I feel like that bronzer was slightly a different shade. Do any of you guys feel the same way as me on that, or is it just me? I mean, I still like this. It's just maybe a little bit more warm toned and a little bit lighter than I remember. Like to me, this is almost like how I remember the light bronzer being back in the day. But it is easy to blend out. It has a little bit of like a satin finish, but it's not shimmery at all. And I'm just gonna blend that on my jawline and also on my neck. Then I'm gonna go back with my makeup sponge, kind of blend that out. But yeah, I kind of feel like with this glitter, I would recommend maybe using a glitter glue even, because I just feel like I'm getting a lot of glitter fallout. So maybe that glitter in that palette in Blitz isn't the best if you don't want glitter fallout, because yeah, I'm getting a lot of glitter fallout on my face. I've never actually used that shade before, but it's kind of unfortunate because I really like the way that the eye looks, but dang, I'm getting so much glitter fallout everywhere. It's like kind of really making me upset today with this look because I really like it. Besides that, for blush, this is more new to my makeup collection, but this is the last e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush that I had to try out from all the ones that I purchased. And this is in the shade Dusty Rose. So I'm going to go ahead and use this for my blush today. I like to dot these blushes on the back of my hand, or, you know, just put some on the back there. And then I'll just go in with my blush brush, dip it in the product, and kind of like swirl it around, kind of dab it so it gets a little bit more evenly distributed on the brush. And then I like to go in and apply it that way. This is very similar to, I think it was Suave Mauve, except for this one is a little bit warmer, like even more like warmer and peachy. But once again, I really like this. It's like a darker version of Peach Please. And I feel like this blush pairs so nice with this green eye makeup. So these e.l.f. Camo liquid blushes, I know I've been raving about them in all of my videos, but they're definitely worth it. And every single color that I have tried, that I picked up, I love. So these are definitely a home run for me, and I feel like I'm going to get so much use out of these blushes because I really enjoy all the colors. They're super easy to build up and blend out. So, and they wear really well throughout the day. Like I don't have any issues with them getting patchy or mixing weird with my foundations. They're just such beautiful blushes. A highlight that I have not used in the longest time is this Laura Mercier baked highlighter. It's the Matte Radiance Baked Powder in Highlight 01. This was my favorite go-to highlight for so long. Like it has such, I don't even know if you guys can see, but it has such a dip in there. Like the dome is gone and there's actually like a dip down in the product. So this was like my go-to highlight for every day. But it's been a while since I have used it, so. But it is such a beautiful highlight because you can apply a little bit of it, looks really nice and natural, or you can go in with several different layers of this and it just gives your cheeks a really beautiful, intense glow. I'm gonna put a little bit of this here on my Cupid's bow, right here on my nose. I'm gonna go ahead and mist my face and then we'll do mascara. So I'm just going to be using my Urban Decay All Nighter. Maybe this will also help the glitter to stay on my eyes a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take my hair out of these clips. And I just curled up my lashes and applied several coats of my Maybelline Lash Sensational in Blackest Black, only to my upper lashes. Okay, for my lips today, I think I'm going to wear this color by MAC called Kinda Sexy. And I purchased this a while back, but I always forget to wear it. Like sometimes I feel like it is a little bit too peachy, but I feel like with this cheek and the green eyes, it would look really good. So I'm just debating on what lip liner I want to pair with this lipstick. Because it's definitely one of those colors that I need to use like a slightly darker lip line for it to look good. Okay, I think I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild gel lip liner in Lay Down the Mauves. So I'm just going to line my lips first with this. Okay, and then I'm just going to go over top of that with Kinda Sexy. And this is a matte lipstick. And I feel like that is just such a pretty combination. Just going to line my lips a little bit more. And I might add just a little bit more blush, just put whatever was left on this blush brush. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the Shop My Stash Get Ready With Me today, featuring the Profusion Chocolates palette. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here with me today and getting ready with me if you got ready with me today. And I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.
You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art.